Hi guys, there is going to be a lot of noise in the background, primarily because it's warm so the windows are open, because here in the UK we don't have air conditioning. So it's one of the reasons why I'm also not wearing a top over my vest top like I normally would. So live with it, because some people don't like it, but tough. And also the husband's downstairs, so I'm doing a few jobs. So there is going to be noise, but this is the only time I'm going to have to do this video, because I'm doing something tonight and I'm busy tomorrow, so yeah. So I'm doing this video, editing and uploading today. You'll get it tonight because I'll make it live before I do what I want to do later. Now, I'm not going to make this video super long. I will link to Josh's video up in the iCard, as well as my video from my live stream from Sunday, because I cover some stuff in that. This is a completely separate situation, but it's a situation nonetheless. Now, we all know I'm not a big fan of Onision, that there's a lot of things that Onision does that makes my blood boil and aggravates the fuck out of me. But one person I've never spoken about, one person I went through the same type of thing with as I did with Onision, where I thought they were a nice person, and then I started seeing through the curtain and started realising how nasty they actually were. So I was like, right, okay then. And I stopped watching them years ago. And Onision and Stepanka, which is the person in question, have been involved in a situation. And it's a pretty bad situation to be involved in. Josh did a video on it, I think it was just over a week ago or so. He initially didn't want to make the video, but he felt he had to, and I will explain why. Now, Onision and Stepanka promoted a GoFundMe to their fans for a girl that needed heart surgery. It was heart surgery. She was 15 months old. She had something wrong because she needed emergency surgery to fix it, and she needed, and the family didn't have money, so they put a GoFundMe up. Other people did also donate, one of which was Jacqueline Glenn. On March 31st, she tweeted this. Can you guys tweet this out to your followers? A family friend needs life-saving heart surgery for their 15-month-old, and I am trying to help. Onision retweeted it 33 times. He did a video on it, and he also mentioned it in at least one other video besides. Now, Stepanka had a lot of input on this. The GoFundMe was created by a woman called Diana on behalf of Stepanka Moto, which is Stepanka's name, and Stepanka then promoted it to her fans and to other fellow YouTubers. Josh believes that Stepanka manipulated Onision, because Onision has this thing about wanting to always be the saviour, about always wanting to be the person who comes to the rescue. I'm not 100% sure, because we know Greg's history with GoFundMe. We know Greg's history with saying things are one thing and then 5 minutes later saying that there's something else. So I'm a bit sceptical on that one. Vegan Gains, as well as Repsion, raised doubts about the situation because there wasn't that much information. There wasn't a lot of evidence, there wasn't a lot of proof. It was just literally a case of this 15-month-old needs surgery, help her, and that's it. And they said that the girl's name was Sophia, that she was in Connecticut, and that her family needed their money to pay for the surgery. Now, Josh and his team then collected information which didn't match what was on the GoFundMe. And then he asked two freelancers saying, look, we've got this information, we need to get more. So the two freelancers then started digging further. The campaign was created on the 16th of March, but it didn't start getting traction until the 31st after it was tweeted by Stepanka and then retweeted by Greg. People asked for more information and proof about the child's illness and so on, because there have been that many illness hoaxes and because there have been that many people that have said that they're sick and they're not. I think it's actually illegal. Then on April the 13th, an update was posted on the GoFundMe, basically saying, we're not lying, we do need the money, please help us, basically. That's an abbreviated version of it. There was no proof or further information. Nobody saying what hospital the surgery was going to be at, and what surgery it was going to be, or anything like that. There wasn't even any valid or any detailed information that we could back check at all. That campaign, as well as comments with relation to the campaign, were also being deleted. People saying, I'd love to donate, but I need to know more information before I donate, because obviously a lot of people they've been taken for a ride by people on GoFundMe. A lot of people. And we need to remember that when it comes to things like this. Now, they got in touch, one comment asked for more information and got plenty of likes, which meant other people wanted more information, and then was deleted, but not by the commenter, probably by the person who created the actual GoFundMe. They got in touch with Diana, the person who created the GoFundMe, and tried to get some more information. They also found out this: the child's name wasn't Sophia, they don't live in Connecticut, and she doesn't need a surgery. All this contradicting what was said. The family was from Ecuador and she'd already had the surgery and she's fine. So why continue on with the GoFundMe if she's had the surgery? I'll explain that in a second. The aforementioned update that provided no real information was then deleted. The family borrowed money from friends and relatives and are asking GoFundMe to repay the debts. In other words, they're claiming on GoFundMe that they need the money so that they can repay the people that they've already borrowed the money off. Okay. Now, that's a lie. That's an outright lie. And, again, that's not a good thing. I do know GoFundMe is currently looking into it, and I don't know what's going to happen on that front. Diana was then confronted and replied with, I made the GoFundMe when they told us she needed surgery and it hasn't been updated since, which is a lie. And since the surgery was an emergency, we couldn't wait any longer and we had to ask people to lend us money. Now she's had the surgery, we need to pay back the people we asked money for. Or money, well, she put money for, but I think she meant money from. This all contradicted the March 13th update. I think it was actually April the 13th. The April the 13th update. The surgery happened before the April the 13th update. So why did they post the updates? And then they deleted the update because they knew that medical records would contradict it. They were asking for money under false pretenses, very true, and they didn't reply when confronted with the information, still saying that the kid needed surgery, and the GoFundMe changed its name, location, and deleting comments completely, multiple times. repetitive contact. Several of Josh's representatives contacted the medical area near where the child lived in Ecuador, and they got in touch with the surgeon, the hospital, and several others, and said that did the surgery, and he said it wasn't 25,000, which is what they were asking for, that it was a lot less. He also in Ecuador, if the surgery was life-saving, it is more than likely going to be free in most cases. So if this is heart surgery on a 15-month-old, I would pretty much say that, pretty much say that it would have been free, because it's life-changing surgery. Stepanka commented on Josh's video, which I'll read out in a second because I've got it on my tablet, saying that he was wrong and that the girl needs help. I do think that the information Josh has is spot on and puts both her and Onision in a bad light, and the fact that Onision is constantly involved in these dramas really isn't helping his situation. She tried to save face and failed. She's since deleted her Twitter account. She's also deleted the video that she did on Sophia. It was revealed that the money would be released to her and that she would then provide the family with a cheque. Time will tell on this. I will read out her comment on Josh's video. So, she... this is what Stepanka put on Josh's video about this subject. I stumbled on this video and I need to clear the air. Lots of claims are being thrown around that are not true about me. I don't care if you like my channel or not. Just hear me out. I have a family friend, a woman who has been working with my mother for many years. She has been working for my family for so long that we developed a friendship and support system. Whenever the family has birthdays, events, needs help, we help out. The family told my mother about a terrible thing that happened to their niece, Sophia, in Ecuador. So she's still trying to say that the child's name is Sophia. In Ecuador. So my mother called me and said we should do something to help. I suggested they start a GoFundMe since this is what many people do when medical emergencies arise. They created the GoFundMe, sent me a link, and I, as a good friend, shared it on my social media. When Onision saw my post, he did too. He always has stepped in when I've needed help sharing something, since he does have a larger reach than I do. I donated money, a close friend of mine even donated 5,000, and trust me, I would never feel okay having a friend donate that much if there was any thought in my mind that this was a scam. I reached out to other big YouTubers and reality stars and had them share it too. I honestly believe I was doing a good thing. I still do. I've seen photos. I have been looped into an email thread with the support team at GoFundMe. I've seen hospital transcripts due to the amount of suspicion regarding to the GoFundMe. People have reported it, which is why Quinn, the security team at GoFundMe put a hold on the funds and required the family to provide more information. I was looped in on these emails because of this reason. The family collecting the funds are immigrants. And do not have a social security number, but they do have a tax ID number, and apparently it was not allowing them to input that to get the funds released. They called me and asked for my help, so I immediately offered that it could be released to me and I would write them a cheque. I complied with all the questions the support team had, answered everything I could, and now it's up to the family to provide adequate information. And if it's not provided, all the funds raised will be refunded. While I do have medical records and various files of proof that this is legit, I am not at liberty to share it online. It would violate HIPAA. Look it up if you're not familiar. And it's not my child. I do not feel comfortable sharing someone else's child's medical records online. However, if anyone wants more information, more clarification, please reach out to the support team of GoFundMe. They will answer all your questions regarding the case. I tried to do the right things to help the family. It saddens me that he's blown up with this whole thing. But I understand people's concerns. There are many scams on GoFundMe. Verifying things is important, so I cannot stress enough that if you are concerned about the GoFundMe and want more answers, please reach out to the support team in regards to this instead of speculating online. It is such a waste of your time. I am someone who donates lots of money to charities. I donate whenever I can to whatever touches my heart. I will always have faith in people being truthful, genuine. Perhaps I'm naive, but I know that when I showed that GoFundMe, it was out of the goodness of my heart because I care about this family. So I noticed something while I was reading that. Early on, she says, let's see if I can find it. Happened to their niece Sophia in Ecuador, right? Then she also says the family collecting the funds are immigrants and do not have a social security number. So is Sophia in Ecuador or is she in the US? Because it's Sophia in Ecuador, and then it says the family collected the money are immigrants, so they don't have a social security number, so they can't get the money, the funds released. It's like, no, if the GoFundMe is in question, that'll stop it getting released completely. And if a lot of people have raised questions about the GoFundMe, then GoFundMe will put a hold on it until you provide the information. So that's probably why they can't get the money released, because GoFundMe have put a stop on it. So Josh replied with this: Stepanka, thank you very much for your reply, but my job ended with this video. It's true, you do find I do find you very manipulative, very calculated, but that's not really the reason why I made this video, nor I talked about you. There is no claims, just facts. Whoever is behind the campaign lied. About Onision, I think that man-child is just desperate and wanted to look nice. I have no better feelings towards him about this whole story. He just doesn't like him in general. You think you were doing something nice for a friend, okay? I don't believe you for a second. I cannot prove otherwise, so I can only accept what you're telling me now. But now you know it. You and or they lied to everyone. Sophia was never in hospital when the April 13th update was published. And we've actually gathered data that believes her surgery happened in March. I have not talked about it, the March 15th data, because we're still gathering data to confirm it's 100%. We've called the hospital professionals and tried to get in touch with everyone involved and have all it's needed and more if the authorities are involved. The problem here is that people believe they have been giving money to a child to help a child survive, believing a child is still waiting for surgery and that she was dying. I mean, it's literally not the case. When that money, $8,000, could and should be used for somebody else who needs urgent surgery. I do not care about lies. I understand why they lied, and why it took me, and that's why it took me months to publish the video. But if you use that lie to make money and do not try and come clean by fixing everything with another update in hope to make more money, that's wrong. A few months ago, I did a ton of tests because I was worried about something. How would you feel if I opened a GoFundMe campaign and told everyone I needed money to pay for something money for something I'd already paid for, just to get my bank account even, taking money away from people who needed it more than me in the process? Also, your deleted comments and deleted Twitter accounts, after I called you out, do not help your case. But this is just my personal opinion. I have no idea why you did what you did. embarrassment, pressure. I've been there. I don't really have a problem with that. I'm just sorry I couldn't save what you wrote about me. I agree, when you wrote there are many scams on GoFundMe, this is one. Sophia is fine, people still believe she's dying, and you and your friends are still lying, milking money out of people. Give back the money so it can be donated to someone else in urgent need. Best of luck, Josh. Right. So, I completely understand where Josh is coming from. There are a lot of people that, especially in America, that will say, oh, I need money for this, I need money for that, I need money for this, when they're not actually in need of it. There's, I think it's a True Crime Daily. I know somebody did a thing, I'll link that up in the iCard, about what's called health hoaxes. And I'll link that up in the iCard because it's very telling. Because what happens is somebody will see that, say, Joe Bloggs has raised 20,000 because he has cancer and he needs urgent surgery and he doesn't have the money to pay for it. Then they'll think, oh, I can do that, and then they'll put a whole load of stuff out there saying, oh, I've got cancer, and then when you look at the fine details in the photos and several other things, you start to realise things don't make sense, and then it comes out with what's called health hoaxes. So, yeah. And do I believe this is one of them? I think it's potentially one of them. If in Ecuador life-saving surgery is free, then the GoFundMe should never have been started. If it is true that the surgery was free, then they're just using this to line their pockets. Now, is it actually the family saying that the child is ill, or is it someone more associated with Stepanka? I don't know, and I don't think we'll ever know. I'm watching Josh's account because I think he is keeping an eye on it, because I do think he'll probably cover it again just for an update. So yeah, a day ago I said important news. Stepanka deleted her video about Sophia. He also linked the video, a copy of the video. The next move should be to shut down the campaign and give the money back so that others in urgent need can be helped. And multiple times Josh actually said to him, look, we know she's not ill. We have the proof.